Welcome to ELC. Today we are going to discuss about correlation. This is the part of class 11th statistics for economics. The learning outcome of this lecture will be, we'll understand the meaning of the correlation. Secondly, we'll understand that what is the nature of relationship between two variables that we generally try to establish under correlation. And third is, we'll end up quantifying those relationships. That is, we'll start calculating those things in some numerical terms. And at last, we'll start interpreting those relationships. Like if the correlation is positive, what does that mean? And if the correlation is negative, then what does that mean? So now come to the introduction part of this correlation. What correlation broadly means is that it is some kind of relationship between two variables. Suppose x is one variable and y is another variable. Then you want to establish some kind of relationship between these two variables. For an example, the sales of ice cream in any city is related to the temperature in that city. So if the temperature rises, it is very natural that the sales of ice cream will also rise. So there is some kind of positive relationship between these two variables, that is sales of ice cream and heat of that city. So if we consider sales of ice cream as variable x and heat in that city as variable y, then we can see that our data should show that these x and y are positively correlated. Now we come to the third part of this correlation, that is types of correlation. Correlation is broadly divided into three categories. First is correlation because of causation. So in this kind of correlation, we can always establish some kind of cause and effect. That is, some kind of theory is behind those kind of relationships. For example, when price increases, we generally see that demand decreases, and that is what is called law of demand. So there is some theory behind this kind of correlation. Now we come to the second kind of correlation, which is without causation. So if we go into the market and collect the data of the number of shoes that people are wearing, the size of the shoes that people are wearing, and the money in their pocket, so we can definitely find some kind of correlation between these two. But we do not have any theory, we do not have any cause and effect to establish those kind of correlation. So these kind of correlations will always be called correlation without causation. And at last we'll have third variable behind the correlation between the other two variables. For example, the sales of ice cream and the drowning in the city. Suppose the sales of ice cream has increased and the drowning in the swimming pool in that particular city has also increased. But these two factors are correlated because of the factor temperature. If temperature increases, we generally see that the sales of ice cream in a particular city increases. And at that point of time, when temperature increases, people generally go and enjoy themselves in swimming pool. So sales of ice cream and the drowning in the swimming pool are basically correlated because of the third factor, which is called temperature. So what do we measure in correlation? So in correlation, we generally measure the intensity and direction between two variables. Suppose the variable x and y we are interested in. So first of all, we'll have some qualitative information that what is the type of correlation between these two, and then we'll have some kind of quantitative measure that what is the intensity of correlation between them. Secondly, correlation is always about covariance, like how x vary, and then in the relation to x, how does y vary. We never say that because of x there is some kind of change in y. Hence, we always say that in correlation we always measure covariation, but we never measure any kind of causation. And third, in correlation we have positive or negative kind of correlation. Suppose variable x and y are positively related, we say that when x increases, then y also increases. Suppose x is our height and y is our weight variable. So when height increases, it is generally observable that weight also increases. So these kind of correlation will be called positive correlation. And now the negative correlation. So negative correlation are those kind of correlation in which when x increases, then y decreases. So the very celebrated example is price and quantity demanded. When price increases, then quantity demanded falls. So these kind of correlations are called negative correlation. And the last and the most important point under correlation is that we always measure some kind of linear relationship between any two variables. In higher classes, we will study that another kind of correlation can also be measured, but for time being, we'll only consider the linear correlation between x and y variables.